da bei, da bei, da bei, ja. Da bei, da bei, 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 da bei, da bei, ja.
If you're waiting for fear to go away before you take bold action, sis, I hate to break it to you, but you might be waiting a long time. Stepping out on faith is never comfortable, but it is always required to make the change that you seek. I want to welcome you to week 10 of the 12-week Reset and Reinvent Yourself Challenge, honey. And today we're talking about taking bold action even though it scares you. Oh, sis, I hope you're ready for this episode. If you are, get your pen, get your Post-it, get your ambition planner, and let's go. Hello, Ambition Babes. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, also known as the Face of Ambition, across all social media platforms as well as wherever you stream your podcast. I help women who are over 40 who are ready to reinvent themselves, who are sick and tired of doing the same old thing the same old way and expecting different results. But if you are currently on a glow up journey and you are not over the age of 40, but the algorithm gods have decided to show you this channel, I want you to consider yourself lucky, honey, because I'm going to tell you everything that I have had to learn the hard way so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I have. And one of the largest mistakes that I have made throughout my 20 years of being an entrepreneur is waiting to be ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel like this is the perfect time to act. Waiting for all the stars to align, waiting to have enough money, waiting to have the help that I desire. And so because this content is a little touchy, and all of us are guilty of waiting for the perfect time to actually take the bold action that God has told us to take, I'm breaking this video up into 3 sections. Section number 1 is identifying what we have been avoiding. Once we've identified what is blocking you and what you have been avoiding, we're going to talk about operating in your flow state. This is the state that we all enjoy operating in, which is clarity, creativity, and confidence. And section number 3 is how to have faith-fueled action. I'm going to break down why boldness is biblical. So let's get started with having a little heart-to-heart. What are you avoiding, sis? There is something in your life that you know that you're supposed to do. There's something that you've been called to do. You have a purpose. You keep dreaming about it. You think about it constantly. When you see other individuals do it, you find yourself getting a little jealous because you find yourself feeling like, if they can do it, why can't I? Each of us could probably write a full dissertation on all the things that we've postponed doing in our life, because naturally we're waiting for the perfect time to start. I know I'm not the first to tell you, but that day is never going to happen. The perfect time to start, the ideal time to launch, the date that you have enough money and time and creativity and excitement around whatever it is that you're supposed to do may never happen. So does that mean that God lied to you and that you're actually not supposed to take bold action, that you're not actually supposed to do what He's commissioned you to do, that you're not actually suited or skilled to do the task that He has told you that you are the only person that can deliver? Well, if the Bible is true, He's not a man that He's going to lie, so perhaps it's us that's lying to ourselves. When you avoid doing something, it's typically because it's really important work. It's something that's going to make a difference. It's going to change your trajectory. It's going to help you feel happier, whole, more aligned and on purpose. Things that are not that important to you, you typically don't find yourself avoiding. But when it's truly important, when it's going to make a difference, it can be really scary. But what I know for sure is that God has not given us the spirit of fear. And the moment that we feel fearful about doing something, taking action, or putting the first foot in front of the other, we have to identify what type of spirit is controlling our actions. So if God has not given us a spirit of fear, but yet we feel fearful, then we can easily come to the conclusion that that spirit is simply not of God. He's not going to trick us to believing that this is something that we should do and then not equip us to be able to do it. But like I said, if it's really important, it should scare you. But it should not scare you to the point of inaction. So I want to give you a little homework. I want you to open your Golden Gratitude Journal or whatever journal that you picked up from Marshalls or TJ Maxx that you've barely written in. And I want you to write this short journal prompt. What action have I been avoiding that could change everything? I cannot speak to the inaction that you're taking, but I know that you have a business that is burning a hole in your belly. It's keeping you awake at night. It's the nonprofit that I know you want to start because you have a deep desire to help people. Perhaps it's that you need to walk away from a job or a relationship. You know that you have toxic friends, or you're trying to work in a toxic environment that no longer serves you. And you've been feeling this tug to get away from this job, to get away from that relationship for way too long, but you're waiting for the perfect time. You're waiting for all the stars to align before you take action. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. I'm not constituting for divorce or leaving your job without a plan, but I am telling you that if you have been told to take action, today we're going to find clarity around those action steps and create a deadline that is going to help you to actively work towards that goal every single day. Perhaps you're supposed to post a new YouTube video, a TikTok, a Substack, or an Instagram post that you've been inspired to share with others. Maybe you're supposed to book a flight. Perhaps you have been avoiding speaking up, speaking out, saying something, speaking your truth, or perhaps you have been avoiding asking for help. Oh, sis, I'm sure each and every one of us are guilty of that. None of us were meant to do it alone. And that is the reason that I started Clickish. Clickish is a community of like-minded women who hold each other accountable to reaching our most ambitious goals. Inside of the Click, I am your personal mentor that guides you along your glow-up journey, holds you accountable to doing the things that you say you want to accomplish, while encouraging and inspiring you every single day. Our community is growing and I would love for you to join. So if you have been avoiding asking for help, today's the day that you need to take bold action. All of the details on how to join Clickish are left in the description below. And myself and all of the other women that are a member welcome you into our clique as we work to reach our goals. Okay, so now that we've identified that you are definitely avoiding something and the blockages that have been standing in your way, whether that be fear, perfectionism, or comfort, you've now journaled your way through those thoughts and you're now ready to operate in urgency. Getting into a flow state is the action of operating with clarity, confidence, and creativity. And this happens when you create a sense of urgency. Did you know that if you create a goal for yourself and do not set a deadline, it is not even considered a goal? It's just a task that you say you want to accomplish. It is not a goal if it doesn't have a deadline. And a deadline helps us to create urgency. You've been avoiding this for way too long. And it's time to put some time limits around when you are going to get this done. And this is why I love the 90-day format. You have exactly 12 weeks to reach whatever goal that you say you want to accomplish. If it takes you less than 12 weeks to reach that goal, it more than likely is just a task. Cleaning out your inbox is a task. Cleaning out your closet is a task. Decluttering your house, cleaning out every single room, renovating your bathroom, pulling up the carpet, changing the wallpaper, installing a new backsplash sink, stove, and refrigerator. Now that's a goal. But let me tell you how long it's going to take you to achieve that goal if you never set a deadline. Most recently, my therapist and I were talking about the release of our new Ambition Planner, which if you're a member of my Substack or email list that you've heard, we're having to make a little bit of a pivot. But the creation of our new planner is something that I have been talking about with her for way too long. So one day during what I thought was a normal session, she asked me when it was going to be completed. And I told her that so many of the components were already finished. I really just needed to settle on everything that I wanted inside of our new planner, put it together, finalize some of our artwork, and it would be complete. So she asked me, how long do you think that's going to take? And as I was fiddling around with the time that I thought it was going to take for me to complete this project, she asked me a very critical question. She said, in addition to you thinking about the deadline, what will be the consequences for you not meeting that deadline? Well, I must say, as a business and accountability coach, the roles were being reversed. I really started to consider the consequences for my inaction. The consequences had been that I've been talking about creating a new planner for way too long. So she wanted me to identify what the consequences would be if I said I was going to create this planner and finish it in a week and I didn't complete it. So I'm considering the consequences that would mean a lot to me. And so I said with a very straight face, in full sincerity, that if I had not completed our planner in the next 7 days, that I would have to go 7 days without going to my favorite coffee shop. And now listen, when I said it, I was so sincere. Girl, when I tell you, all she did was look back at me with a blank stare and blinking eyes. She was like, I highly doubt that is enough of a consequence to make you take action. And I was like, oh girl, you don't understand. Yes, it is. She was like, I think a fairer consequence would be you coming back to your YouTube or Instagram community and tell them that you set a goal for yourself. And because you hadn't planned properly, you were distracted, you were full of fear and lacked confidence, you didn't complete it. When I tell you I was shook, I was like, yeah, I would really hate for anyone in my community to think I was a liar, because I absolutely pride myself on eating everything that I cook. Every single action that I suggest that you take on every video that I release on Sundays and Wednesdays, I do myself. I do the skincare, I do the planning. I'm on a glow up journey. I'm losing the weight, I'm taking care of my body, I'm drinking the water, I'm setting the goals. But when it came to those consequences for not meeting that deadline, the idea of coming to you and saying that I said I was going to do something that was completely within my control and ability, and I simply didn't do it, was consequence enough for me to get that planner done in 5 days as opposed to 7. Now, although the consequences really worked for us completing the planner, unfortunately, we're not coming out with a physical planner this year, and I'm being forced to switch from being an analog girl to a digital girl. But the planner is absolutely beautiful. The concept is there, the creativity is there, the clarity and the confidence that I'm releasing a product that I'm absolutely proud of. But that happened when I was in a flow state. That also happened when I created a sense of urgency. And urgency requires a deadline. As perfectionists, as high performing individuals, we have to understand how to trigger the high performance within ourselves. And one way to trigger a state of flow is to be highly organized and to identify a sense of urgency attached to every single task that you need to accomplish. So if you want to start a business and it is something that you've been sitting on, dreaming about, planning, conceptualizing for way too long, it's time to put some urgency behind the task that it's going to take for you to actually get this project up, launched, and successful. Because one of the things we're not trying to do is have an unsuccessful business, honey. So you're going to want to do it right the first time. And sometimes that causes a sense of fear. But what if I told you that if you were intentional about every single action that you take, if you write out your full business plan, consult all of the AI software that is there to assist you, pass it by your sister, your best friend, your mama, your partner, or your husband, then get on your knees and give it to God, your steps are going to be ordered, honey. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. The only thing that will be holding you back from reaching your ambitious goals are you. One of the ways that I have found that has helped me to be able to organize my thoughts and to take intentional action is to plot my task on what I call a clarity catcher. This is actually one of the sections that will be in our new ambition planner, and I'm offering you an absolutely free download in the description below. But in your clarity catcher, which is essentially a brain dump, it is organized in a way that helps you to understand what you need to do first, next, after that, and later. Being able to get all of the thoughts outside of your head and onto a piece of paper and applying a time frame in which you want to get those things done increases your personal accountability and the likelihood of you being successful by like 10x. Your dreams are possible. You just lack clarity on how to get it done. Because girl, I completely understand. It can feel absolutely overwhelming. Everything is important. Every task should have been done yesterday, and we live with the reality that time is our most valuable asset. Therefore, you are going to have to be extremely selfish with how you spend your time and who you allow to drain your energy. That is why monotasking your day is extremely important. It allows for you to identify urgency by plotting the tasks that you know you need to complete during a certain time throughout the day, while helping you feel confident about the task and the steps that you are taking. Listen, honey, I am giving you the formula to success. You are not blocked. You are not lazy. You are not avoiding it. You simply do not have the system in place to help you to be able to reach this goal. Taking bold action is going to take organization, and it's completely within your power to start taking that action as soon as today. And the last section is that you are going to have to take faith-filled action. What if I told you that boldness is biblical? God responds to movement, not just motion. I have operated in motion for so many years, feeling like if I move the stack of papers from this side of the desk to the other side of the desk, that I'm waiting for God to actually do something. But I know I am not alone when I have experienced God's hand moving in my life the moment that I decide to make intentional movement. When I put one foot in front of the other and said that I'm stepping out on faith and I'm doing what you told me to do the very best way that I know how, He lights my path. I don't stumble. I feel supported and guided every single step in that journey. But that never happens when you're just in motion. When you're just swaying back and forth, expecting the good to happen, as opposed to identifying the movements that it's going to take to make your dream a reality. Bold faith has opened doors throughout the Bible. From Esther, Joshua, Ruth, and countless others, bold action changes history. Imagine what your life would look like if you never tried. From something as simple to trying a new recipe and realizing that you liked avocado, to trying to have the baby that has been the biggest blessing in your life, to trying to move across state to better your life, taking a chance on that spouse or partner and saying yes to their proposal, trying to start the podcast, trying to start the business, believing that you have what it takes to alter history and to make someone's life just that much better. That takes bold faith, and you've done it over and over again. So why is this action any different? So you honestly believe that God started lying to you now? He's protected you in so many ways in the past, and the action that is keeping you up at night is absolutely no different. Sis, I know it is difficult, but you have to be obedient. Do it scared, but do it anyway. You're in the perfect position for a breakthrough, but you have to have confidence in yourself and in the God that you serve, that all of the promises that He has given us in the Bible, which is about 7,000 in total, can also be yours. James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. Proverbs 3:5 says that you need to trust in the Lord with all of your heart. And one of my favorite texts is found in 2 Timothy 1:7. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but it's incumbent upon us to take faith-fueled action. So underneath that journal entry where you're going to identify the action that you have been avoiding that could lead to your breakthrough, I want you to create your bold action list. The first thing that I want you to do is to make a list of the 3 to 5 to 15 to 45 things that you need to take bold action on. What are the things that you know that you should do that you've just been sitting on? Maybe it is apologizing to someone from your past. Maybe it's cleaning out that guest closet finally. Maybe it's putting in the 2 weeks at that job that you know you're not supposed to be working at any longer. You're sitting on some bold actions, and I want you to take a second and make a list of every single last one of them. Then I want you to circle, outline, highlight just one bold action that you are going to take this week. Like I said, we have got to create urgency. So what's the point of making the list if we're not going to put that list into action? I want you to identify one thing that you want to take action on this week and the deadline in which you want to complete it. Now be mindful, this is not a home renovation task. If you want to start a business or a nonprofit, it literally takes hours to become fully incorporated, and that can be done before the end of the day. Having a tough conversation is one text message or phone call away. Starting your wellness journey is literally one step away, but it means that you're going to have to put on those tennis shoes, put on that cute workout outfit that I know that you have hanging in your closet, and start. The last thing I want you to do is I want you to tell someone your plan. This is going to take a little bit of vulnerability, but we cannot continue to do the same old thing, the same old way we've always done it and expect a different result. That is why I started Clickish. The women inside of Clickish get to tell each other exactly what they want to be able to accomplish every single day, and there is so much power in saying it out loud. Our brains are hardwired to keep us safe, and so when it's an action that we've never done before, we instantly can find all of the reasons why we should not try. But the moment that we say it aloud, we write it down, we tell someone else, our minds now think that that is the truth. So because we're tricking our minds into doing the things that we want it to do, this is the perfect time to take action and step out on faith. Because I'm your digital bestie, I want you to leave in the comment section the one thing that you're going to do this week that would make you ridiculously proud of yourself. It's time for you to tell your best friend what your goals are, and let's support each other in the comment section to reaching our goals. Sis, I love you, and I pray that you are well and that you're doing something every single day to reach your most ambitious goals.